All right, shalom.
Hey, shalom.
First and foremost, we want to give all praises, honor, and glory to Yahweh, Ba'ashem, Yahweh Shai, Ba'ashem, Rakakwadash. Double honors to the apostles and elders of Great Millstone who rule well and teach well. Peace and blessings to the elect out there that's pushing this word in all truth and sincerity. All right, this is, the Memphis camp coming back at you with another pre-camp. Before we get camp started, we like to, get the spirit going, let the younger brothers, start teaching, get the spirit going before camp starts. And so the topic that we're going into today is Gog and Magog, the Lord putting pruning hooks into the jaws of Gog and Magog, which is aka Russia. All right, because when you look up on a map, you type into Google Maps the land of Gog and Magog, what's going to come up is those lands, which is modern day Russia. All right, so I'm going to start off by reading Ezekiel, the 38th chapter. All right, and it reads, "And the word of the Lord Yahweh came unto me, saying, Son of man, set thy face against Gog, the land of Magog, the chief prince of Meshech and Tubal, and prophesy against him, and say, Thus saith the Lord power, Behold, I am against thee, O Gog, the chief prince of Meshech and Tubal, and I will turn thee back and put hooks into thy jaws, and I will bring thee forth and all thine army, horses and horsemen, all of them clothed with all sorts of armor, even a great company with bucklers and shields, all of them handling swords." All right, because that was the nature of Russia, before the United Nations, came together to stop, second world countries from spreading. When the Berlin wall fell, that was the end of the spread of communism. All right, but prior to that is a war between first world and aka first world countries, which was the ideology of democracy, and second world countries, which was under the ideology of communism. All right, so that was the whole World War II beef was the spread of communism. All right, and that kind of ended it, and it tailed off when the United Nations united together to stop the spread of that Russian ideology, communism. All right, but the Lord is going to turn them back, making them think that they have the upper hand. All right, but in the end of the day, it's going to come to naught, because Yahweh Shai is going to bring in the kingdom of heaven. That's why the scriptures say, why do the heathen rage and imagine a vain thing? All right, because all these other countries and heathen nations that think that they might have an upper hand, through a different ideology or through a different way, they think that they're going to rebel and come up with a new society. They're mistaken, right? Because the new world to come is the world of Israel, right? They're going to rule, all right? But continuing on, it says Persia, Ethiopia, and Libya with them, all of them with shield and helmet. All right, because those countries over there, Persia, Ethiopia, and Libya, they're in those modern day lands, all those countries are allies with Russia today. All right, those OPEC nations or BRIC nations also, they're against doing business with those Western society countries. All right, it says Gomer and all his bands, the house of Togarmah of the north quarters and all his bands, and many people with thee. Be thou prepared, and prepare thyself, thou and all thy company that are assembled unto thee, and be thou a guard unto them. All right, so that's going into the allies of Russia. All right, and it also mentions it in the book of 2nd Ezra, the 15th chapter. All right, so I'm going to start off by reading 2nd Ezra 15, and I'm going to start at 27. For now are the plagues come upon the whole earth, and ye shall remain in them. For the Most High shall not deliver you, because ye have sinned against him. Behold, in horrible vision, and the appearance thereof from the east. So, like, I'm going to let this confusion go by. They're going slow as hell, too. Yeah, all eyes on you, fucking whores. It says, I'll read verse 28 again. 2nd Ezra 15 and 28. Behold, an horrible vision, and the appearance thereof from the east, where the nations of the dragons of Arabia, all right, because if you look at the modern day, you know, Arabian nations, you know, that's, you know, Iraq, Iran, you know, Syria, all those that are beefing with, you know, the Western backed countries, you know, like Israel. All right, it says, where the nations of the dragons of Arabia shall come out with many chariots, and the multitude of them shall be carried as the wind upon earth, that all they which hear them may fear and tremble. You know, verse 30, it says, also the Carmanians raging in wrath shall go forth as the wild boars of the wood. All right, and when you look up Carmanians, you know, modern day Carmania is in the nation Iran. All right, and that's a key nation that's going to play a key role in these end time prophecies in World War III. All right, in the Valley of Jehoshaphat, you know, the Valley of Judgment. You know, Yahweh Shaphat in the Hebrew. All right, the Valley of Jehoshaphat. All right. So also the Carmanians raging in wrath, you know, because prior to this pandemic, you had rumors of World War III starting, you know, the draft coming back, because Trump had killed a top general in Iran, you know. So that is a real, you know, walking on thin ice moment, all right, until that lockdown happened. And then, you know, all of a sudden, you know, the invisible virus, the invisible enemy became the #1, you know, target. But you think, hey, because, you know, people like to talk about how, you know, the American economy suffered during all those lockdowns, but people don't really take into consideration how it affected those countries out in the Middle East, you know, and really globally. Shit, in Canada. In Canada right now, they're still under strict lockdowns. But, you know, not to stray off the topic, you know, over there in the Middle East, they took a huge hit, and they're still pissed off about that. And they're still pissed off about their top general being killed, you know? So tensions are still being stirred up over there in the Middle East, especially right now with Israeli and Pakistan, you know? But continuing on, it says, and with great power shall they come and join battle with them, and shall waste a portion of the land of the Assyrians. All right, so it's going to get, those Middle East tensions are going to worsen. All right, and with that great power, that's talking about their allies, which have greater power. And who's the allies of those Iranian countries? That's Russia. All right, Gog and Magog. You know, they're getting tired of the U.S.'s bullshit going on. You know, thinking that they can just, you know, waltz into a land, you know, stir up, what's it called? Rebellion. You know, with their democratic ideologies. You know, so that they can overthrow their dictator or leader and infiltrate, you know, with that democratic ideology. And then you got all these different sects of rebels like ISIS, you know, and more confusion is coming out, you know, in those Middle Eastern countries. And all that's going to increase until the return of the Lord. All right, the Most High is gathering those nations into the Middle East, you know, aka the Valley of Jehoshaphat. You can get that in Joel. Jeremiah 51:6. Yeah, get Joel first. I think it's, you know where it's at in Joel? Yeah. You know, so the Lord's gathering those nations in the valley of Jehoshaphat, so when Yahushua comes back, he can just wipe them out with, you know, one clean blow, you know?
Right here. This is Joel chapter 3, verse 2. And I will also gather all the nations and will bring them down into the valley of Jehoshaphat and will plead with them there for my people and for my heritage Israel, whom they have scattered among the nations and parted my land.
Yeah, because you got to understand that the Most High's chosen people, Israel, were scattered throughout all these nations. And wherever, you know, we went, we caught hell from these other nations. You know, chiefly Esau, Edom, all right? But, you know, the Most High has to judge all these nations too. So what he's going to do is he's going to gather all of them to war. All right, and once they're fighting against each other, that's when Yahushua is going to step in and be like, nah, man, I'm your enemy. I'm gonna wipe all y'all out. You know?
13.
Yeah, and that's what I had in the spirit to go into next. But is there more on that?
38 verse. Verse 3, they have cast lots for my people and have given a boy for a harlot and sold a girl for wine that they might drink.
Yeah, man, that's the wickedness of these nations, man. They use Israel as their own collateral. You know, the people of Israel as collateral, as just, you know, trading cards, basically. You know, human resources. You know, this, and the scriptures say there's nothing wrong with servitude, but there's a right way and a wrong way to do it. And the way they do it, you know, selling a boy for a harlot, you know, that's sodomy. You know, and then also they do it in pedophilia, you know, on top of that. You know? So what do you think the Lord's going to do for those atrocities? Man, the only way to recompense that, or to reward that, is, you know, killing them, man.
It say, yea, verse 4, yea, and what have ye to do with me, O Tyre and Zidon, and all the coast of Palestine? Will ye render me a recompense? And if ye recompense me swiftly, speedily, will I return your recompense upon your own head?
Yeah, so what can you do to repay that? You know, what kind of apology or reparations can you do to justify that? And the only way is, he said, even if you do offer it, he's going to return it upon your own head. Like, hey, I'm not trying to hear that. Come on, I think that is it. Is that more?
No, that was it.
Okay. And then you had something in Jeremiah.
This is Jeremiah chapter 51, verse start at 6. I can start at 6.
Okay.
This is Jeremiah 51, verse 6. Flee out of the midst of Babylon and deliver every man his soul. Be not cut off for her iniquity, for this is the time of the Lord's vengeance, and he will render unto her a recompense.
Yeah, that Babylon is talking about America, all right? Because America, well, when you break the word Babylon down, it means place of confusion. And that's all you see in here, America, all right? You can adopt any ideology or philosophy you want, all right? You know? You can be a homo, you can be, you know, straight, you can be anything in between. They make up new terms for you. Non-binary, fluid gender, or whatever the fuck. Just straight confusion. What is that supposed to even mean?
Between genders.
Yeah, between genders. When there's a clear distinction between male and female, but just because you mutilate your genitalia, you think, you know, they create new terms for it. Which is confusion, man. That's Babylon for you. You know?
Verse 7. Babylon had been a golden cup in the Lord's hand that made all the earth drunken, and the nations have drunken of her wine, therefore the nations are mad.
Yeah, so the nations have drunken the wine of Babylon, because Babylon had been that golden cup, you know, because America was on top for so long. So it looked appeasing to adopt, you know, those philosophies like democracy, you know, letting men marry men, letting women marry women. You know, that looked like the thing to do just because, you know, America was on top. But because of that, you know, these nations are going to have to suffer the same wrath as America, man. So that's another reason why he's, you know, gathering all these nations into the Middle East, you know, the Valley of Jehoshaphat, because they adopted the wicked philosophies of Esau Edom, starting with, you know, the beast system, which consists of you know, America and those UN countries. You know.
It's Obadiah chapter 1 verse 15. For the day of the Lord is near upon our heathen. As thou hast done, it shall be done unto thee, and thy reward shall return upon thy own head.
Yeah, get Amos 9. You can start at 11.
This is Amos chapter 9 verse 11. And that day will rise up the tabernacle of David that is fallen, and close up the breaches thereof, and I will raise up his ruins, and I will build it as in the old days of old.
Yeah, because that's another key component, is the nation of Israel coming back to who they are. All right? So, you know, so far we've established, you know, Russia playing a key role, the Iranians playing a key role, and America playing a key role. I mean, we see America falling, you know? Shit, you know, a few years ago, America was, you know, patriotic and stuff, but now everybody hates America. It doesn't matter whether they're Democratic or Republican, they all see the flaws in America, man. They all want to rebel against the tyrannical government, man. They see the flaws in the government system. You know, so that's a key role playing out right now.
And you got the, if I may add, you got the warships. They trying to, you know, go across the American oceans and stuff, and, you know, try to invade. You know, they basically trying to poke at America, like,
yeah, playing those war games.
Yeah, they doing drills. Russia doing drills with China and Iran, so it's over with.
And for the longest time, you know, Trump was trying to get America and Russia to be allies, but it wasn't working out because always some bullshit would happen. A drone would, you know, fly across the Iranian borders and fuck up some shit.
You saw it drop a missile on one of the countries.
Yeah, and then it's like, how can we run joint missiles when you're fucking with our allies? So those aren't, you know, light things, man. You know, if you have the wisdom and knowledge of these prophecies, man, hey, Esau and these other nations are on thin ice. But we're recording us. Through. Hey, they were out. They don't know what's going on. But also a key role is Israel, the nation of Israel, waking up to who they are, because our heritage was taken away from us by these other nations. That's another reason why they have to be judged, man. You know, they cut off our heritage, man. They made us forget who they were, who we are. What's that in Psalms?
Raise it.
Yeah, I think it's 83.
Ah, yeah, without the nations.
Yeah. So you're gonna go back to that. You know?
This is Psalms 83. Start at 1.
Yeah.
Keep not thy silence, O Yahweh Shema Shai. Hold not thy peace, and be not still, O power.
You know, because this was King David, a psalm of King David. So he's begging to the Lord, praying to Yahweh Shema Shai, you know, to keep not silent. All right, speak out against these atrocities. All right, and how does the Lord speak out against the atrocities? You know, through the men of the Lord. You know, and that's what we're doing right now. We're speaking out against Esau, Edom, and these other nations, you know, about their wickedness. Keep going.
For lo, thy enemies make it to mute, and they that hate thee have lifted up the head.
Yeah, a tumult. Yeah, it's all good. You know, because they hate the Most High. They hate His instructions. They want to establish their own way. You know. Keep reading.
And they have taken crafty counsel against thy people, and consulted against thy hidden ones.
Yeah, they've taken crafty counsel and consulted against thy hidden ones. And who are the Lord's hidden ones? The Israelites, man. Keep going.
And they have said, come and let us cut them off from being a nation.
Come and let us cut them off from being a nation. That's why you don't really hear about the Israelites anymore. You know, through these you know, plantation Christianity churches, they teach you that everybody can make it. You know, they don't tell you that the Israelites were God's chosen people. And if they do, they say, oh, but that was the Old Testament and that's done away with. That's fucking bullshit, man. The Lord is the same as he is today, yesterday, and tomorrow. You know, he hath not dealt so with any other nation. You know? They keep going.
And that the name of Israel may be no more in remembrance.
Yeah, that Israel may be no more in remembrance. That's why, you know, the so-called blacks, Latinos, and Native Americans, when Esau came over here, he beat the language out of the Native Americans because they were speaking Hebrew. I mean, you did have a lot of wicked Gadites and Reubenites, you know, going off into different, you know, savagery, you know, killing each other and, you know,
worshiping galaxies.
Yeah, worshiping the, you know, spirit animals and, you know, weird shit. But, you know, for the most part, they spoke Hebrew. You know, some of them were keeping the law statutes, you know, yeah, the Sabbath, keeping the laws. They were wearing fringes, you know. But the reason why Esau beat the language out of them was so that they would no more remember the customs, man. The customs of the Heavenly Father, Yahweh Shem Shai. You know? So they beat a different language into them, gave them new names, called them Native Americans instead of Gad and Reuben, you know, the children of Israel. Same thing with Judah, you know. They beat the language out of them, man. You know, all throughout the West Indies and the Spaniards, you know, and gave them Catholicism, gave them, you know, Protestant Christianity, you know, enslaved them with their own book, you know, but gave them a different perception on it. You know, a false perception, deception, I should add. You know, it wasn't to the ways of the Heavenly Father. You know, they took that heritage from them, man. So go back to Amos 9 and 11. So now, when the Israelites are waking up to who they really are, we're gonna see how stuff plays out according to prophecy.
This is Amos 9 and 11. And that day when I raise up the tabernacle of David that is fallen, and close up the breaches thereof, and I will raise up his ruins, and I will build it as in the days of old.
Yeah, the tabernacle of David, or also known as the house of David, you know, and we'll build it as in the days of old. All right, so hey, the Israelites are gonna, you know, remember their history. They're gonna remember how they were in the ancient world, how we were keeping the laws, statutes, and commandments, and how we were set up on high at one point in time. You know, although it wasn't meant for that specific time to be the kingdom of heaven, but that's how we know how the world should be established, is under the law, statutes, and commandments of the Heavenly Father, you know, with Israel being on top and the other nations being subjected unto us. So keep reading.
And that they may possess the remnant of Edom and of all the heathen.
Yeah, possess the remnant of Edom. When you possess something, that means you have ownership of it. All right? And Esau, Edom is the #1 enemy of the Israelites. All right? Which is the so-called white man. Esau, Edom is the so-called white man. All right? I say so-called because... I say so-called... I say so-called because, you know, that term white, you know, means pure. You know, it's symbolic for everything pure. Yeah, and holy. And also on the flip side of that, the term black means everything, you know, wicked and dark, evil, you know. So those were terms, you know, labeled by Esau, you know, gave himself a new identity, because he doesn't want to be identified as Esau, Edom, because everything prophesied for Esau, Edom is nothing but slavery, destruction, no repentance. He's a true wicked. He's a true black. He's the true nigger, you know? Because nigger just means black. It's synonymous, you know? So if you get butthurt over me saying nigger, hey, get butthurt over, you know, somebody saying black History Month, or, you know, whatever.
There's nothing but bad words in there.
Yeah, because if you're an Israelite and you're calling yourself anything but an Israelite, might as well call yourself a nigger, man. But what was I saying? I lost my train of thought. But yeah, Esau is trying to escape his identity, and Israel is coming back to our true identity. You know, we're decoding the false labels that have been put on us and coming back to our true nature. Keep reading on that.
That they may possess the remnant of Edom and all the heathen, which are called by my name, said the Lord, that doeth this.
Yeah, come on. And all the heathen. You know? Going into Elam, Ishmael, Moab, Ammon, Japheth,
Hamites.
Ham, come on. You know, we're going to possess them, man. Meaning we're going to take ownership of them. They're going to be beneath us. We're going to tell them what to do. You know? Keep reading. Yeah. What's up?
Verse 13, behold, the day is come, said the Lord, that the plowman shall overtake the reaper, and the treader of grapes, him that soweth seed, and the mountains shall drop sweet wine, and all the hills shall melt.
Yeah, the plowman shall overtake the reaper, because right now, Israelites are the plowman. You know, we're doing all the labor, and the reaper is these other nations. They benefit off the backs of the Israelites putting in the work. You know, they're, you know, fed deliciously, man.
I mean, and too, I was reading in the history of how when Africa, Ham was ruling, and they had us in slavery, they was getting rich off us.
Oh, hell yeah.
They were.
Yeah, because free labor, you know, during slavery, if you don't have to pay any employees, you're reaping all the benefits, come on, man, you're gonna get rich.
And that was Israel, so we were special people. We could whip some shit up fast, so of course they're gonna use us, you know?
Yeah, picking cotton and, you know, indigo and what was that?
We was doing
sugar cane in the West Indies.
Tobacco, we were picking tobacco for them.
Because those were the cash crops. You know, to make jeans and different clothes, dyes, and different pastries. You know, and not just in the Americas, but all over, because they're shipping slaves to the Europe, Spain, Sweden, Portugal,
Italy, Rome.
You know, and that's how we know that Israelites are scattered, you know, throughout the four corners of the earth. It's because the curses of Deuteronomy, the 28th chapter, you know, still apply to those, you know, Israelite foreigners, you know, across the globe. Like, for instance, you had a lot of slaves go to the Hawaiian Islands from Ephraim, from Puerto Rico. You know, the island of Puerto Rico, a lot of them were transplanted to the islands of Hawaii to work on those sugarcane plantations in Hawaii, man.
Sugarcane in the Caribbean too.
Yeah, in the Caribbean. So amongst those, you know, Polynesians, Hawaiians, you have a lot of Ephraimites there.
It said, verse 14, and I will bring again the captivity of my people Israel, and they shall build the waste cities and inhabit them, and they shall plant vineyards and drink the wine thereof, and they shall also make gardens and eat the fruit of them.
Yeah, so we're gonna be on top. We're gonna reap the benefit of the labor. You know, we're gonna plant vineyards and be able to drink the wine of them, man. Not like in this society where all the hard work and sweat, blood, and tears that you put into something, it goes right out from under you, man. You know, you have to pay taxes, pay your bills. You know, you just do enough to get fed GMO bullshit and poisoned water. You know, barely surviving to the next day.
It's a scripture. They just say, roughly paraphrase, we're going to enjoy the elixir, enjoy the work of their hands. It's in Isaiah.
Yeah, we get Psalms, the first chapter. It might be the second, but I think it says ask me. Yeah, I think it's the second one.
Yeah, go say it. This is Psalm chapter 2, verse 8. Ask of me, and I shall give thee the heathen for thy inheritance, in the uttermost parts of the earth for thy possession.
Yeah, so these heathen are part of our blessing, man. It's part of our inheritance to rule over these people. That is our God-given right, you know? By Yahweh through his son Yahweh Shai. That's our right to own people, man. And that's such a far concept to Jacob, because, you know, Jacob is but a homeborn slave. They don't know what it's like to rule over people, to own things. Because in this society, it's so fucked up. Because in the kingdom of heaven, we're gonna give, you know, the heathen their own lands, give them their own property. Yeah. You know, but here, you know, you take out a loan, you know, for a house, you start making payments on that house, or a car loan or a car note, and you don't really own it until all that's paid off. You know, if you miss a payment, then Esau comes and repossesses it. Hey, but guess what? In the end times, Jacob is going to repossess the earth, man, because this was our God-given right. This was ordained by the Heavenly Father, and you borrowed it, you know, for a little moment, and you didn't treat it right. So the Most High is going to raise up the elect of Israel to repossess the land and the earth and you heathens, man. We're coming to take you, man. We're coming to take the heathen, to rule over them, to possess you.
This is Sirach chapter 10, verse 4. The power of the earth is in the hand of the Lord, and in due time he will set over one that is profitable.
Yeah, so, you know, the earth is in the hand of the, it's like, read that again.
This is Sirach chapter 10, verse 4. The power of the earth is in the hand of the Lord.
The power of the earth is in the hand of the Lord. You know, just let that marinate, man. All the powers that be on this society, the Lord is in control of it.
And in due time, he will set over it one that is profitable.
Yeah, and in due time, he will set over it one that is profitable. Which is, you know, starting with Yahweh Shai, the Israelites. Is the wicked rejoice? It's like the earth rejoice. You know what I'm talking about. People mourn when the wicked are in leadership. Yeah, people rejoice when the righteous are. No, because Esau isn't fit to rule this earth. It's not fit to rule the world, man. And it's evident. Look around.
Chemtrails, 36 tons of thousands of plastic in the ocean.
Yeah.
Microplastic.
Yeah, microplastic. All those plastic and foreign chemicals, you know, lower your testosterone. And really, the #1 threat to lowering your testosterone is cortisol. That's the stress hormone. And man, this society stresses you the fuck out. You know, always, if you know, demonstrate your masculinity, they call it toxic. And if you start complaining about the wicked ways, then they label you as insecure. Both of those ideologies stresses you the fuck out, produces cortisol and lowers your testosterone, man. And then all the products that they feed you, whether they be, you know, if you get the freshest of the fresh, you know, it's still packaged in these plastics which contain xenoestrogens, which fucking lower your testosterone, man.
And acid in certain foods.
Yeah. And it's all wicked, man. Hey, but the scriptures talk about that, how we shall eat our food defiled among the Gentiles. You know? And we have to go to the want and need of all things to the enemy. You know? Because Esau's in control of all that. And he's going to pay for it too.
This is Proverbs 29:2. When the righteous are in authority, the people rejoice, but when the wicked bear rule, the people mourn.
Yeah, I'm sure you've had, you know, different teachers, you know, different classes that you've been in. You had that one bitch ass teacher that made your life a living hell just because they were wicked, man. They like to see you suffer. I don't know, probably because when they went through school, they didn't like it. They were bullied in high school or whatever. So they want to make the, you know, just because they have that power to make your life a living hell, they do it too. I fucking hate that teacher, man. But when you have a righteous teacher, you know, he's cool, he's laid back, makes learning fun, you know, so to speak. You're like, yeah, this is a cool ass teacher. You know, I'm actually learning stuff, learning how to, you know, apply the knowledge too that I learned. You know, it's not just all for vanity, just to pass, you know, get a passing grade. And he's cool too. He's making jokes. He's, you know, cracking jokes. It's like, yeah, I like that teacher. Hey, same thing in a global scale, man. Because you do have wicked rulers that run this place. That's why you have people arguing all the goddamn time, man. Complaining, wanting to, you know, strife, greed. You have, you know, the ideologies that are in a high standard are being toxic, being savage, being greedy. You know, fuck what everybody else thinks. I'ma do me. You know, give it, what's that? Do as thou wilt. Those ideologies are empowered, man. People mourn. People are stressed the fuck out. But when the righteous beareth rule, when things are set up in righteousness, people are gonna rejoice, man. When you can work for something and see the fruit of your labor, you know, seeing, you know, starting a family. Because in this society, if you start a family, that brings more stress because you got to pay for it. You got to figure out a way to, you know, pay for the resources to provide for that child. And then on top of that, you got to worry about, you know, all those different ideologies infiltrating, and you don't want, you know.
Protect your kids.
Yeah, you're trying to train him up in the way that he should go, but he's also influenced by, you know, all these different media and social media and, you know, whatever he might learn at school or whatever. And it's vain, but in the righteous beareth rule, we won't have to worry about all that, man. None of it. And that's the day that we pray for, and we know that, you know, certain things have to manifest before that day, and those things are judgment. All right, judgment to the wicked. You know, these wicked people are gonna have to die. So we fully embrace it. We beg the Lord to come back to execute that judgment. You know,
this is Psalms 37:11. But the meek shall inherit the earth, and shall delight themselves in the abundance of peace.
Yeah, and Yahushua talked about that in Matthew the 5th chapter. Yeah. The meek shall inherit the earth. The ones that are lowly, the ones that are humble, long-suffering. You know? Willing to tolerate this bullshit because they know they have that patience in Yahweh Shem Shai that he's going to execute judgment upon them and set up the meek in rulership. You know? They submit themselves to the ways of the Lord rather than conforming to the world right now, man.
The Lord, hey, if I may add, the Lord made this world foolish. You know what I'm saying? So if you're trying to, you know, rock with the boat on this world, man, you foolish as well too. You know?
What's that? I think it's it might be 2 Timothy where it says the world is enmity with the Father.
Come on, I got you.
Yeah, and you can grab that, the one that you paraphrased.
The world foolish.
Yeah, the wisdom of this world is foolish.
I got you. This is Giants chapter 4, verse 4. Ye adulterers and ye adulteresses, know ye not that the friendship of the world is enmity with Yahweh Shem Shai?
Yeah, adulterers. Adulterers and adulteresses that the read that again, James 4.
I got you. This is James chapter 4, verse 4. Ye adulterers and ye adulteresses, know ye not that the friendship of the world is enmity with Yahweh Shem Shai? And whosoever therefore will be a friend of the world is an enemy of Yahweh Shem Shai.
Yeah, so if you're trying to gain some popularity in this world, They're going to have to sell out the integrity and moral standard of the scriptures to obtain friendship with the world. That's why you see whores on social media get the most likes. That's why you see faggots get the most likes on social media. You know, that's why you see, you know, the wicked celebrities, and, you know, I mean, it's obvious. The scriptures say that folliness is set in great dignity. You know? You want to be friends with that? Well, guess what? You mark yourself in as an enemy with the Most High, because you're not upholding the standard of the Most High. You sold out your moral integrity to obtain, you know, friendship with the world. You're worthy of death at that point, man.
I got that foolish. This is 1 Corinthians 3:19. For the wisdom of this world is foolish with Yahweh Shebab Shai, for it is written, he taketh the wise in their own craftiness.
Yeah, so the wisdom of this world is also foolishness. You know, because they like to promote fucking whoredom and sodomy and death, man. Drug abuse and murder, deceit, stealing, lies. And that's not the way of the that's not the wisdom of the Heavenly Father, man. You know, so that those ideologies and all those that practice those works are gonna have to be cut off and die. You know, and it's gonna manifest on a large scale. You know, like we were going into at the beginning of this lesson, over there in the Middle East, man. He's going to gather all those nations that have conspired against Israel, against who the rulers should be, cast away his judgments. You know, the law, statutes, and commandments of Israel.
I mean, it's a must that World War III got to come.
Yeah, it's a must.
If it don't come, man, we're going to be destroyed. It says, should no flesh be saved? Yeah. So we got to, hey, yeah, this destruction got to come.
Yeah, that's just another prophecy that has to come before Israel can be established. I'll use this example. Before you renovate a building, you have to demolish the interior to set up a new interior. You know, sometimes you have to, if you plan on building a completely different building, you have to demolish the building, the whole building, you know, and level the foundation just to build a new building. So how much more when we're talking about a world dynasty, a world rulership? The powers that be have to be taken out, you know? They have to be destroyed so that Israel can be brought.
Clean,
you know?
that age.
Yeah, clean. So, you know, with that, Lord willing, this pre-camp was edifying, you know, to the elect and the 1/3 that hearken diligently to this word. You know, once again, we're going to give all praises, honor, and glory to Yahweh, by Hashem, Yahweh Shai, by Hashem, Dash. Again, double honors to apostles and elders of Great Millstone, who rule well and teach well and set forth a great example to us younger brothers. And, you know, to the elect out there, you know, Shalom, that's pushing this word in all truth and sincerity. You know, Shalom.